Kristy has this piece about living life to the fullest, and not being bound in the various trappings that life can sometimes bind you. I got to work this job, or I got to do this thing. But just to live.
She would always want to meet everybody, and she want to know who my friends were. She want to know who my teachers were. She want to be involved in my life and my upbringing, to see who I was around, to see what she could do to just be there with me.
Who gave you the questions?
Yeah, it was Joshua.
Oh, God.
Yeah. All right.
She is the type of person that is always looking to refine. She's always looking to refine herself and those around her.
When I looked at Kristy was actually the first person I ever loved.
If you borrowed Kristy's car, be prepared to put gas in it because it was on empty.
You know, if I'm going to be a first lady, I want to be like Kristy. She's really the best.
My name is Joshua Dubois, and I am proud to be Kristy Sinkfield's son.
I remember the pregnancy vividly because I actually was a child, having a child. And so in those days, there was no such thing as family delivery rooms where everybody comes in and everybody's happy. There was a room called the labor room. And everybody in there was laboring except me. And I was waiting for my labor term to start because the women were screaming and hollering. And one moment is, oh, Jesus, and the next moment is explicit. And so I'm just laying there wondering whatever's happening to them, when is it going to happen to me? Because I'm just as pregnant as everybody in the room. It was about 5 or 6 of us. And everybody was older, and everybody in there had children. So now I'm just like, really, what? And it never, ever happened. And so I looked at her, and this is a true story, and there was a light across her face. She was actually a child of the light. There was a light across her face. It was unbelievable. I didn't know what that meant.
Well, my first memories were when we were small, and I guess I'm about 6 years older than Kristy, so that means at 7, 8, 9 on her end, 11, 12, 13 on mine. I mean, we always talked. She's a good conversationalist, and we had fun.
I remember as a young child, I gave her a nickname, she and her best friend, Nina. And of course, I named her Ollie, and I don't think I've ever called her Kristy. I think it was always Ollie Hill. And don't ask me where I got the name from. And then there was her friend Nina Babette. You know where that name came from. And so I just watched them grow into young ladies.
Homer was my first husband, and Kevin is her brother. She is 5 years older than Kevin.
She's a little tater tot, and they used to stay at my mother's house along with us for a little while till they moved over on Douglas Avenue. Chris has always been energetic. She was always into something, trying to learn something. You know, she was outgoing and going to school and everything like that, because we didn't get around each other all that much when we were kids. And so up until we turned into teenagers and was going to the same school and all of that type of thing.
My earliest memory would be high school, when we were probably about 15, and we met at East High and became really close friends, and just remembering spending the night over her house and, you know, just laughing and talking and all the things that teenagers do. She was definitely a different teenager. She was very reserved. So what attracted me was basically, you know, she was a very reserved person and real kind of quiet, maybe a little shy to a degree, and I guess I'm a little shy myself, so kind of personalities are different, but we meshed.
She participated in a whole lot of things in school. I think, if I remember correctly, she was a cheerleader.
She was a good student, and she was a cheerleader. She ran track. She did all those kinds of things, and went to prom. The guy she was dating, Dad and I hated him. We just hated him. That's probably a strong term. Didn't like him, and so.
It's funny, my earliest memories of my mom are a little bit hazy because by definition, it was when she birthed me, when I was born. It's more of a set of feelings rather than specific memories. I remember being fiercely loved in those early days in Maine and Cambridge. I remember, honestly, a sense of kind of us versus the world and her protecting me for a while. I remember in particular her orange Volkswagen Beetle, which had a hole in the floor. And she would have me look down at the hole in the floor and kind of characterize it almost like it was a reverse sunroof. She had a way of making even things that were tough easy. I remember that she held a lot of different things together. I remember we were in a small apartment in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and she was feeling some pretty significant despair. And she felt like God visited her one night and it allowed her to push through what was a very tough time. Also remember then moving from there to Old Saybrook, Connecticut. And I remember she bought me some, I believe it was Spider-Man pajamas, and I would hop around in those. Definitely just remember always feeling protected. She always put her family first, and in particular me first. So those are some of the earliest memories of my mom. I was born in Bar Harbor, Maine, and that's where she lived for a while when Paul Dubois worked at the College of the Atlantic. We moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts, where they got divorced, and my mom was on her own with me. We then moved back to Nashville, Tennessee, and actually, importantly, this is an important part of her story, Uncle Lawrence drove up to Massachusetts, actually to Connecticut, that's what it was, to Connecticut to pick her up and pack all her things in and drive her back home so that she could, I guess, be in a place where she was familiar and where she could be protected and have a base and a foundation of support.
I feel like, at one point in our lives, Kristy was going to, I think, Boston University, and she had called and asked me to come help her move back home, and she had Joshua. So I went up there, drove him back here.
We then lived in my granddaddy Homer's house for a while. I remember we would pack up in the living room, and it felt so massive to me at the time. I remember he had his big old big screen TV. I don't know how big that, it may have been 32 inches, but to me it was huge at the time. And so we lived in Granddaddy Homer's living room. I think we then went to our own apartment. We lived upstairs, and Aunt Hazel and Katrina lived downstairs. And so we lived in that apartment. One special thing about that apartment, my mom put a big map of the world on the wall, and she had a globe too. And she would always point out different parts of the world and the country and give me a sense of aspiration about where she wanted us to go. So that was really special. Also, it's just some other memories from that apartment. She got me a guinea pig, and I actually accidentally killed the guinea pig. So, but this is a woman who, at that time, did not have a lot of resources. She was a single mom, and I'm assuming we're struggling to make ends meet. But I felt rich, literally. I felt like I didn't miss a beat. I didn't have any care or concern in the world. I could focus on going to school and being in magnet programs. She always would put me in the in the advanced programs and push for me to be in the special class with the smart kids. She would push me further and further. She had an innate impulse to make sure her kids had the absolute best. So that was pretty cool. And then I believe we moved from, I think right around that time, my mom met my dad, Reverend Anthony Sinkfield. They met in the choir at Payne Chapel AME Church. My mom was very active in the church. She was in the choir. She also did the radio ministry for the church. I remember her voice, the loving, learning, and lifting ministry of Payne Chapel AME Church. She would say that on the radio. And so it was around that time that she was active in the church that she met my dad. They fell in love and got married, and he became my dad.
I first met Kristy when I came to Payne Chapel Church, the church where I'm pastoring now, because the pastor of St. James Church, where I was attending, did not order enough palm branches for Palm Sunday and asked me to come to Payne to get some of the extra palm branches. When I got to Payne Chapel, I was amazed by two things. Keep in mind now, I was a young guy, and so one of the things that amazed me at Payne Chapel is there were a number of very attractive women at Payne Chapel. And so I got the palm branches that I came for, but I immediately had in my mind that I wanted to come to Payne Chapel. And so after Palm Sunday, I actually sat down and talked to the pastor at St. James where I was attending and told him I would be interested in going to Payne Chapel and being a part of his ministry, and he blessed it. And as a result, I came to Payne and got involved with the youth ministry. What stood out about Kristy immediately, first of all, Kristy is a beautiful woman, absolutely smashing. And of course, anybody who has eyes and they can see immediately her physical beauty. But then Kristy also had a spirituality about her and a depth of spirit about her that was just alluring. To be very frank. And we did not come together out of a dating kind of relationship, really. We literally, I think Kristy saw something spiritual or something in me as well, and we just decided that we wanted to get to know each other better. She actually asked me to go to lunch with her, and we went to lunch, and one thing led to another. And we went to the lunch that she invited me to, and I have to marry this woman moment happened very, very rapidly. I had taken myself pretty much out of the dating scene at that point and was really very concentrated on my relationship with God and trying to build that. And I literally in my prayers had told God, I don't want to be in the dating scene. I don't want to do any of that anymore. And when Kristy and I went out for lunch, it did not feel like a date. It literally felt like I was meeting the person who God had chosen to be my wife.
I knew her through the church when I first came to Payne Chapel. And at that time, I didn't know that there was any relationship between she and my son, though. But it developed over the time, and that's how I got to know her.
The first time I remember Kristy was from church, Payne Chapel. And she was in the choir. And eventually, she and my brother began dating. And later, I became her sister.
Most people don't even know that I had the honor of giving her away to Anthony. And the other thing was, not only did I do that, I had to sing all the music at the wedding. So
Kristy and I decided to get married. Our marriage date was August the 10th, 1989. I came from Hampton. Kristy had done all of the arrangement for the marriage, had done all of the planning, came back from Hampton, Virginia, got in a tuxedo. We got married here at Payne Chapel Church in the old sanctuary. I'm pastoring now in the new sanctuary, but in the old sanctuary we got married. We took Kristy's, I can't remember what year it was, but it was a green It was an old green station wagon. I can't even remember the model it was now. And it leaked oil horribly. We put all of our worldly possessions in that station wagon and a small U-Haul and drove 12, 14 hours to Hampton, Virginia, where we were going to live. The early years of Kristy and I were interesting because neither of us were very wealthily employed. And so we were coming into employment and into job situations where our money was very, very tight. We both had student loans and this and that and the other that we needed to alleviate, considerably more loans and more debt than we had income. We got married and Kristy moved with me to Hampton, Virginia, which is where I was doing the parachurch ministry. And we moved into a very small, Kristy and Joshua actually moved with me, into a 600 some odd square foot apartment. I got borrowed furniture to furnish the place. Joshua slept on a air mattress that I blew up myself. Literally, I blew air into the mattress so Joshua could sleep, and we began to make our home there. I had bought a case of tractor oil to put into the motor so that when the motor ran out of oil, we would put tractor oil. And I use tractor oil because it's particularly thick and it would give us at least 60 to 75 miles. We used a whole case of tractor oil. The minute we pulled into the apartment complex, the car's engine locked up. So we made it all the way to Hampton. It was raining horribly. It was just ugly weather. But we made it, unpacked everything, and the car sat there. We eventually sold the car. So we lived in the small one bedroom. We then moved on up to the east side. We moved to a 2-bedroom, about 800 square feet. And Joshua got his own bed, and we bought our first set of furniture. And we really began to build our lives there. There was a lot of unpacking that needed to happen.
Very, very soon after that, we moved to Virginia. My dad got a job at the Fellowship of Christian Athletes in Newport News, Virginia, and my mom started working at Hampton University in an administrative role there. And so we moved to Virginia. I remember we lived in a small apartment. First, it was a 1-bedroom, and so I think I was like on the couch or something like that. And then we moved to a 2-bedroom, and that was a huge deal. Lived in a little apartment complex that had a little lake. And again, she and my dad were just very active in school, on top of the schoolwork. And she was also just fiercely protective of me from some different perspectives as well. I remember I got teased by this one, quite frankly, Caucasian kid, and my mom was not having any of that. And she started talking to me about my race and my culture and how to be proud of being black and how to make sure that I was protecting myself too. So that was just a beautiful moment. It was also there that my mom really learned how to cook. So Grandma Katie came down to Virginia, and I remember she made a mean pot roast and some other stuff, and my mom started picking up things from Grandma Katie. And now my mom is the best cook that I know. In addition to all her other skills, she's an amazing cook. My mom actually also used to make my clothes then, which is wild now these days. I don't know if anybody makes clothes anymore, but I remember she would go to the fabric store and buy the patterns for like short sets because we didn't have the money to go to even like Walmart, Kmart and buy clothes. She would spend maybe $1 or $2 on the fabric and the patterns and would literally sew my clothes, which I didn't even remember that until thinking about it just now. It's also where I learned some other things about my mom at that time in Virginia. Very few people know she's actually an amazing artist. I remember some watercolor scenes that she would paint. And she's a great singer too, and I remember her singing in that time. And this was also when she started inculcating me in my faith more, both her and my dad. And so it was the first time in that era in her life that I saw her faith really shine. This was also her initial journey in being a pastor's wife. My dad did his trial sermon in Hampton, Virginia at an AME church there. And so this was now her starting to be in the mix of being a pastor's wife too. So we were in Virginia for a while. I remember I was there for 2nd and 3rd grade. And then we moved back home to Nashville. My dad had gotten admitted to the Master's in Divinity program at Vanderbilt University.
When we used to get together as a family with her
and her husband and her son, we would get together and watch football games and with other couples and my husband and I, and we would get together and watch football games and have dinner and laugh and talk. And I mean, that was fun, just getting together and just fellowshipping together with each other.
We go way back. I can remember great times, even going to the Koi to whitewater rafting and date nights and family get-togethers and time spent eating and fellowshipping and worshiping together. It has truly been a good ride, and it's just a blessing to Gloria and I to be connected to you all.
We're back in Nashville. I'm in middle school. And you know, it's just living life. My parents are doing their thing. It's also this role as a pastor's wife is blossoming even more. And she never saw it as a ceremonial role. She would leverage being a pastor's wife to have an impact on people in the congregation and communities. When we were at Mount Olive in Lebanon, I remember the little kids would come up to her. I think it was Jada was her name, and they would just love being around her, and she would encourage them to focus on their education. We went to Dixon, I think it was St. James Dixon, and she created a community around there, would encourage people, ask people about their grades, and really have a leadership role in people's life. She always leveraged that spot in the church to impact everybody around her. And that was just amazing to see how she impacted the Browns and, you know, just everybody in the, Lee Brown and Mahogany and all those folks. Shalaby, I don't know if she remembers Shalaby, but she would speak into this young man's life. And yeah, it was just beautiful to see how she impacted people through the church. So we're in Nashville for a few years, and then we get moved. It's a big deal. We move from, my dad's church gets moved from Nashville to Xenia, Ohio. And that was a major move in our life. So we moved to Ohio, and these were some formative years. My mom worked at Wilberforce University, forget her exact role, but then she actually started consulting for Ernst & Young. And so she would travel to Texas, I believe, for 3 days out of the week and then come back, still holding it down for the family and having an amazing impact through the church in this time in her life. I remember she had a great relationship, for example, with a young woman named Jill Shelby, and really helped to guide Jill in some tough times in her life. All of my friends, when they couldn't talk to their own parents, they would come and talk to my mom. She was very active with me in my late middle school and then high school years, although she was also disappointed in me as well. She has a lot of stories, not all of them are accurate, even though she thinks they are, about how she says I would ignore her in the hallway because she was actually substitute teaching a little bit. I forgot about that. And she claims I ignored her in the hallway. I don't think that's actually true, but she thinks it is. She also claims I ignored her when I was hanging out with some friends at the YMCA playing basketball and saw her. I promise you, Ma, I did not see you. Let me state for the record, I did not see you. But we, you know, this is something that she likes to hold on to. And then an amazing thing happened in Xenia that changed my life, my mom and dad's life, and just made everything even better. And that was when my little sister was born. In October of 1997, Anna Sinkfield was born. And this was a radical thing. I remember very well my mom being pregnant. She was huge. And I mean, no offense, Bob, but I've never seen a pregnant woman with as full of pregnancy as she was. I remember that. And then Anna, I remember when she picked out Anna's name, which is the most beautiful name I've ever heard, Anna Jariah, God sees and God answers. Now, what's interesting, I was with Grandma Catherine. She was visiting Ohio when the name was chosen, and Grandma Catherine had a positive response, but she made a little bit of a joke, because Grandma Catherine likes to make jokes, and my mom, who was not a crier at all, was very emotional at the time and just began to sob. And we both felt so bad because it was such a beautiful name, but my mom it was just one of those moments. But she pushed through that, and I remember very, very well the day that Anna was born.
Ohio gave us children, and the first of which was Anna, our oldest daughter, who's the middle child, and we named her Anna Jariah, which means God sees and God answers, because we didn't think we were going to have any children. And 2 years to the date, God gave us another child, and we did not know again, because even after Anna was born, the doctors had told Kristy they don't know how Anna was born or how she was conceived, because biologically and physically it should not have happened, but it did. And 2 years later, God blessed us again, and my namesake, Willie Anthony Sinkfield Jr., was born. And so Ohio was pivotal for us as far as ministry and building family, and all of our kids came through that whole experience. And then we moved from there to Columbia, South Carolina, where my ministry expanded.
One of my earliest and probably most fond memories of Mom and I would probably have to be from a tradition that we started when I was younger. So essentially, we started on Christmas around this time. We started to go out and try to find Christmas lights, and it didn't matter where they were. It's just kind of like wherever we could find in the surrounding communities. And so we would drive around. People would have these elaborate decorations on their front yards and on their patios, and this in their communities in general. And so I remember, like, while we were driving, Mom would often point out, hey guys, look, there's some more lights, it's some more lights. And so I remember from this experience, my saying kind of came to be. I used to start copying her and being like, hey, it's some more lights, it's some more lights. So I remember that from that experience. And so that's probably my earliest and most fond memory, especially surrounding Christmas time with Mom.
The things that really made me respect my mom is the fear of what she would do in public to me. So I was always worried that, oh no, she's gonna embarrass me in public, or oh no, she's gonna and like, of course there's of course discipline. If I stood out, or if I acted like a fool a little more than usual, she'd pull me aside, she'd let me know, hey, stop, and I'd know for sure. Because she has a kind face, and she shows that. She's like, oh, everything's okay. As soon as it's like, stop, everything stops, and you know she's serious. And but she had that way. She had a way of going between this nurturing, kind-hearted nature, but also letting you know, though she's still with you, you got to get it together. You got to keep it in line. And she had a good way of getting between those two too.
My mom and my dad got jobs at Allen University in Columbia. My dad was the dean of men. My mom was in an executive role in the president's office, and really enjoyed that time. I remember their beautiful house that they had. I remember Anna going to a Montessori school. I think Tony started going to school there as well.
Where my ministry expanded. Kristy, I took on a deanship at one of our denominational universities, and Kristy was the vice president for enrollment. And we just were growing financially, we were growing familially, and Kristy and I we constantly became one another's leaning post, sounding board.
My earliest memory of my mom is, it dates back to just playing just random games with her at our old houses in South Carolina, and seeing and just having her just sit there with me and my sister and give us random toys and give us things to do, just and stuff to essentially either teach us or to entertain us, do some sort of mix of the two, so we'd be both smart and have a lot of fun doing like random things around the house. So the thing that stood out about my mom the most, at least when I was younger, was her absolute yearning to meet everybody that we knew in school, be it our classmates. She would always show up in class, and I used to get so embarrassed about this. She would play this song. She would play a few songs in front of my classmates that I thought were obnoxious, and she loved it, and my classmates loved it, and I never understood why. But she would always want to meet everybody, and she want to know who my friends were. She want to know who my teachers were. She want to be involved in my life and my upbringing, to see who I was around, to see what she could do to just be there with me. And it was as annoyed or as embarrassed as I would have gotten then. Looking back on it now, it was a gift just to have her around. It was great knowing that she was constantly there, just to be that support system for me.
And so that was a nice period. And then they came back home to Nashville, and that started her journey at Vanderbilt University. Kristy is a project manager extraordinaire. She can take very complex things and make them simple. And Vanderbilt saw that in her. And so she moved from the Institutional Review Board, I believe the IRB is where she was working, and then moved over into a strategy position, and now is thriving as a director of strategy and transformation, managing some really, really complex projects like major rescissions to the Vanderbilt budget, to the transformation of medical education, and more. And so she has been able to thrive professionally. She has expanded her community imprint in various ways, from focusing on health and wellness at her church with the Biggest Loser initiative, to having an impact on public policy and health in the state through the First Ladies for Healthy Babies program.
My mother is my role model in so many ways, some of which being personal related, but well, all of them I guess would be personally related. She's driven, she's smart, she is intuitive, and one of the most recent ways that she's inspired me is through her journey with spirituality. And to be able to see that and the growth that she has gone through with meditation, even in seeing her being active in the church as a choir director, as, you know, a first lady, it's really truly amazing to see someone love God so much and have that love reflect outwardly. Is that a word? I think so. But it's truly amazing to be able to see that, and it inspires my own practices too. One of the other things that's really admirable about Mom is that there's no limit to how much she's willing to give. She will give and give all of herself, you know, and as long as the other person's well-being is made. And, you know, that is a very selfless trait to have. And so truly, it's amazing to have someone in your life who cares so much about you without it being, you know, some reward that they gain from being there for you. She truly just does it for the goodness and from the goodness of her heart. And it's been so helpful throughout the years of me growing up and my brothers growing up, and, you know, we all love her for it. And she doesn't ask for anything in return. So thank you, Mom, for everything.
So in 2008, Kristy was known to me as Mrs. Sinkfield. But over the years, as Joshua and I, her son, have gotten married, and we've spent more time together, she's become Mama Kristy to me. And so it's just been this amazing journey as she has opened up her heart and her home to me, and really accepted me into the family as her own daughter. She's now become a mom to me, and she's also become a grandmother. She's become Gigi to me and Joshua's two kids, and third that's on the way, to August and Adelaide. And she has just been a warm presence in our life that is an anchor in a lot of ways. What I admire most about Mama Kristy is that she has this sense of dogged pursuit of something. If she puts her mind to it, she's going to achieve it. But also, I really admire the fact that she is the type of person that is not afraid of change. She's always looking to refine herself, to refine others. And she's not afraid of the unknown in that. And so a lot of times I feel like people are afraid of change because they're afraid of what they don't know, what's going to be on the other side, what the process will entail. And she has zero fear and trepidation when it comes to change. And so I really appreciate that about her. I love the fact that she's always looking to learn something new. I feel like when Mama Kristy is 120 years old, she's going to be asking the grandkids and great-grandkids to teach her something about like the new technology that's out. And she's always going to be adaptable to whatever is happening around her.
What I love about Kristy the most, I love so many things about her, but what I love about her the most would be the spirit of excellence that she does carry herself in, the mother that she is, the wife that she is, and the strong example to all those who come in contact with her. Just this past Thanksgiving, you know, we were acting silly and sitting in the chair together and making jokes and just laughing and being silly, you know, like we always do when we get together. So she does have a really fun side to her.
I've known Kristy over 20 years. She was actually my first lady at St. John AME. Kristy became a dear friend. She just brought joy to my life. She has an amazing way of making you feel comfortable. She has a great sense of humor, and you love being around her. I think you're just drawn in by her spirit and by her wonderful smile, and you can just never get enough of her. You just want to hang out with her all the time. As far as Kristy's sense of humor, she just finds joy. She can laugh at herself. She can laugh with you. And I just like seeing her smile. She has one of the most beautiful smiles that I've ever seen. And you can tell that she finds joy in the small things. I think the thing I admire most about Kristy is her faith and her belief in God. She has, as far as faith, I can tell that she walks with the Lord. She spends quality time with the Lord. I can hear it through her prayers, her concerns about people and life. I know that she cares and she has compassion for people all the time. And I know that inner strength that she has, I know it has to come from the Lord, that she draws from Him.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to celebrate my girl Kristy. Love her. Kristy and I got together, we first met in 2015 through links. You'll notice that we share some similar jewelry together, and I love this because it reminds me of the purpose of links, which is friendship and service, and Kristy and I have done a lot of that over the years of developing our friendship. Kristy and I share beauty tips. We share life skill tips. We share advice on being a mom and being a wife and just being a boss woman all the way around. I most recently enjoyed putting together a links event with Kristy. We had a great time getting it off the ground, and we complement each other so well, and I enjoyed working on that project with her. I enjoy our spa time together. I enjoy our lunches together. And I enjoy us just sitting around and talking with one another. Thank you, Kristy, for your gift of friendship.
And we went out to lunch. And the first thing that she asked me when we went out to lunch was, Aunt Hazel, do you have any makeup? And I was shocked. And I really don't wear a lot of makeup and didn't wear a lot of makeup, but I did have some lipstick and maybe a little eyeliner in my purse. And actually, I never carried those things around with me, so it was just incredible that I actually had them in my pocketbook at the time. So I gave her the lipstick, and we went into the ladies' room, and she put those things on, and we went back out and we had lunch, and she began to talk to me about her life at the time. And I, frankly, felt some responsibility for her as her aunt. But I also knew that she was really, really strong. She was a strong person, and that she would make it. She would, whatever was going on that I will not talk about, she would make it because of her strength and some kind of wisdom. And I didn't know where that came from. But at her young age, she had this type of wisdom. And I admired that then, and I still admire the wisdom that she has, because it's, for some reason, it surpasses a lot of older people's wisdom.
One of the things that I really admire about Kristy would be the fact that, well, she's very pretty. And I don't think that that's something that she, thinks about of herself. So I think that she's humble in that respect. And she's really intelligent and always has been, and I admire that in her. And just her tenacity, her go, knew what she wanted early on in life and went out and got it.
What I admire most about her has to be her tenacity. She is driven. When it comes to her, she has to act upon it, whatever it is. And she has a determination and a drive that is just almost unbelievable. She is that. It's the light that shines in her, and it spreads all over. When she smiles, the whole room lights up. She's just that kind of person.
Well, I admire her building up of her relationship with the Lord. Her relationship that she has now, what she does, how she's blessing people. And I watch that growth, what we all look forward to. And that's what I really love the most.
Yeah, but at this particular time, I was pastoring a church, and we were at an annual meeting for the church, and I was supposed to be in place doing something, and I was not doing it. I never shall forget, she gave me a look, like my mother gave me the look one time before, and I immediately got back in the place where I was supposed to be, and I told her, I said, you looked at me like a mother would look at a child. So she apologized. I said, yeah, but I ended up doing the right thing that day, and so I never shall forget that day we laughed and joked about that, about how she gave me that look in church, and I sat down and did what I was supposed to be doing, even though I was not that young child. But she's a great and wonderful person. I really appreciate all the help she's given me. And I was about 40 at the time, but she gave me that look, and I straightened up and sat down where I was supposed to be.
I remember when I first met Kristy, she was just so regal. She was first lady, and at the time I was dating my husband, who was a pastor of a church, and I remember being so afraid to be a first lady, but she was always someone that I looked to say, if I'm going to be a first lady, I want to be like Kristy, because she was so confident and just carried herself in such a way that, anyone, growing up, in the church, through the church, would just want to be like her, because she's really the best. She really is. Okay, so what I really admire about Kristy is just her ability to be serious, but also just bring her whole sense of humor into it. Her personality is just great. Her personality is great for social things, professional things, religious or church things. She just brings her personality into everything she does, and because of that, people love her, people respect her, we just appreciate her, and we just want to be like her, because she is Kristy.
My impression, I would say, was this is a very confident, smart woman that's bold, and she exudes just like positive energy, right? And I thought she was a great person, and I was like, well, I'd like to know more about her. Yeah, so, I say that she's my friend, but she's like an aunt, a mom, a mentor. She's a lot of stuff, and that she's down to earth. And I had no idea really that she's turning 60 years old. I mean, I'm like, what, really? So she's I guess she's really 60 years young, if we could say. And that she's hip.
What I really love about Kristy is just her, she's so easy to get along with. She's so open. She's such a beautiful person inside and out. Kristy is somebody that I really look up to. I think she's a beautiful person. Being kind of not really just a little new as being the first lady in AME, she is definitely one of the persons that I would lean on for advice, and just seeing her in different functions makes me feel more comfortable. And so I think she's just that beautiful person, beautiful family, and the love that she has for people just shows throughout. The funny story I have about Kristy, we had talked about it, and I don't know if she did it or not, but when her youngest is graduating from high school, which they have already done, we were going to get tattoos. So I don't know if she's gotten a tattoo, but I'm still waiting for her to tell me when we can go and get tattoos.
She's very comfortable in who she is all the time, and she's the same consistently. She's compassionate, she's loving, she's caring, and she's that whether it's with her friends, her family, her colleagues, her church members. What you see is what you get, and I appreciate that. We were in a professional setting. I mean, we were in a church setting, and she actually became the first lady of my home church. And I found her to be so welcoming and affirming to my family members and to the other church members in my home church. And I appreciated that. She engages everyone. In our culture, there's a saying that's she's good people, and she's good people. For me, Kristy, aside from being a friend, is a confidant. We have met, and she listens. She's compassionate. She cares genuinely. And that's rare these days, unfortunately, but she is. And I love that about her.
She's good-hearted, got a heart of gold. And she will help you any kind of way she can. You look at her kids and you see that she's transferred that information and everything to them, which they're walking down the same path as she did, her and her husband. So I really admire that. It ain't a whole lot of parents out here that bring their kids up like that. They just turn them loose. But they grabbed hold of them and went on with it. And I'm so grateful for it, you know.
What I admire about Kristy is her intelligence, number one, and then really number one would be her being warm and just inviting. You know, you meet people and they're not always inviting, or they don't make you feel comfortable, but she's warm and kind and considerate, and she's just a positive person.
God has just been good to all of us, but I thank God that he's been especially good to you and how he's blessed you. You're looking good. You still look the same. It's just a little bit more gray hair, but you're looking the same as you did back in high school. And God is just really, but our glasses, I think, a little small. They went small, now they're gone big again. So, you know, here I am with big glasses on. So, you know, God is just really, really, really good.
One of the things was, if you borrowed Kristy's car, be prepared to put gas in it because it was on empty. And then when she went to work, that it's amazing how a person that knows the tags are expired will park next to a police station. And that's one of the funny things. I think she's out of that habit now. But that was one of the, tags, that was a government thing. It didn't concern her. I'll take care of it when I take care of it. Oh, one of the funny things was we were standing in the backyard one night, and it wasn't a night, it was an afternoon. And Joshua was in the car. And unbeknownst to her, he turned the volume all the way up on the radio. The look on her face when she put the key in and turned the ignition. I thought for a minute he was in trouble, but she handled it in stride and just said, "You'll pay for that later."
Kristy has a particular depth of spiritual connectedness. And I'm not just talking about a connection to God. I'm talking about Kristy's ability to connect with people. Spirit-to-spirit connection. It goes beyond the periphery. I marvel at it, to be very frank. She also has this depth of heart in her connection with God, but her ability to grab people at a deeper level, immediately almost, her ability to engage and lift and encourage, and always aim towards the good and the bright and the better, and to own the reality of everybody's unique humanity and specialness, and her uncanny way of affirming people's personhood, regardless of who they are and how they are. It's peculiar, and it is special, and I've seen it change people's lives. I've learned from her. I'm a pastor, and I've learned from her how to interact better with people. I'm not Kristy, though. Kristy is just gifted in this kind of way that has this permeating kind of effect in people's lives that it's been phenomenal to watch.
But she has shaped and molded me in ways that I'm still unpacking. What I love about her is she is always curious. She's seeking to learn new things. I love how much she reads. She loves books, and she is always hipping me to a new book. I love her focus on spirituality over the last 10 years, how she pursued becoming a spiritual director and finished that program and is now a source of spiritual strength for a lot of different people. I love that she is a finisher. My mom tells you she's going to do something, she is going to do it. And she's going to remind you about it and push it forward until it gets done. She's going to be kind about it. She'll be gentle, but she is a finisher. She gets things done. She's not a BSer. My mom doesn't have a BS bone in her body. She says what she means and means what she says. And, there's so many other quirky things. I love that she has a bad memory. So I think it was because of some stuff that she was into in high school. I probably shouldn't have put that into the film, but whatever it is, she has a bad memory. And so that's kind of funny from time to time. She calls me everything from Kevin to Cinco to Tony, and then finally she'll get around to Joshua when she finally lands there. I love how much she and my wife have bonded, and now, that is her daughter, pure and simple. She's an amazing Gigi to August and Adelaide, and to Cinco, her grand dog. And I love how much she loves them. She's a great daughter to Catherine and to Richard, and she was a great daughter to Homer Robertson as well. She's an amazing wife and support to my dad, to Reverend Sinkfield, and is there with him by his side, moving him forward every single day. And she's just a beautiful soul. There's just no one I look up to more than my mom.
My first critic, my first response, someone who will look at my work and give me an honest opinion of it, it helps me realize there's someone who really cares enough about what I'm doing to help me push through and keep doing it. And she's been doing that for ages. As long as I've been doing art, she's been there to support me. And it's been a great help. It's helped me push and believe that I could do what I'm doing now. And it's a constant inspiration for me to keep going. And even aside from that, she's always helpful just in general. She will always be there to say, hey, do you need anything? I'm always here. And then of course there's the I love you and the hugs, to show that she cares. And she's always offering to say, oh, bring your friends over. Let's all get together and meet at our house. We can cook and we can make food, or we can play games. We can find something to entertain everybody. And all of my friends even love her, and they all my friends in different groups, they will all talk about how nice my mom is and how welcoming she is. And even if they're not trying to be welcomed into anywhere, I'm just getting picked up to go somewhere else, she'll say, oh, come on in, I want to hear how you're doing. I want to know what's going on in life. How's school? How's work? How's everything? And just the fact that she's such an integral part in everybody's life, that at least that I'm around even. And I know for other people too, that anyone that she's around, she wants to be a part of their lives, and she wants to be involved, and she wants to know what she can do, and she will always be there to help. And it's such a selfless act, and everyone can acknowledge it, and it's hard to not see it. It's so present. The best thing about my mom is her unending kindness. She is always trying to put up a positive disposition and help people through whatever situation they're going through, and she will constantly be there to help people. It doesn't matter who they are. She will reach out and find people who need help, and she'll try to be that help for them. And she's done this for me. She's done this for people we know, family, friends, and then she's done this to complete strangers. She will go out of her way to help people that she deems that need help, and oftentimes it does help them. It ends up better for everybody in the end, and people can recollect about how she has made an impact on their lives as she's made an impact on our families' lives, and it's incredible how willing and able she is to reach out and help everybody that she can. My mom, to me, is, I've said it a bunch, she's an inspiration. My mom is what keeps me going in my career, in what I want to pursue in life. And she's been a big support of do what you love. You got to go through it, and you can't just do things do things in life just because you have to do it. You got to do it because you want to do it. There has to be a drive behind whatever you do. She has made sacrifices so that me and my siblings and other people can do what they want to do, can live this life that they want to live. And the fact that she's done this is I mean, there's no good word to describe it. It's incredible that she's so willing to do this for us. Like I've been saying, she's an inspiration. She will continually be the person who I'll go to, if I need some help, I will always go to my mom and I'll see what she thinks about a situation. She is my emotional grounding. She will, because I may not be the most emotional person, but I know that I can vent to my mom about certain things. And I know she will give me good advice, and I know she'll help me through whatever I'm going through. And even if I don't want help, or even if I come off as I want to be left alone, she will let it be known that she will always be there for me. And she'll do the same for my family, my friends, anybody.
She emulates love and compassion and is just very inviting to whoever she comes in contact with. From the time, for as long as I can remember, Mom has been the type of person who gives off this joy and happiness, and it's contagious. And it's truly amazing to see it in person. And for anyone to be able to come in contact with it, to meet her, is truly a blessing. And I love her so much for it. I wish that was one of the attributes that I got from her. But it's amazing, and truly I do love her for that.
Hi, Kristy. I am your sister-in-law, obviously, and I am actually sending a message to you from the Chattanooga Sinkfield family. Turning 60 is an amazing feat, and for someone who looks like they're 40 is even more amazing. You have longevity in your family. When I look at your grandmother and your mother and your aunts and uncles, I'm thankful that God is going to let you see more and more decades. And I'm also thankful that God has allowed you to live life more abundantly. And when I say abundantly, I don't just mean with money, but I mean richly, with good family and good friends, with a wonderful job, with great kids and a wonderful husband. I realize as I get older and older how much of a blessing it is. So on behalf of the Sinkfield clan in Chattanooga, we want to wish you a happy 60th birthday, and also pray that God enriches you with many, many more. Love you, sis. Bye-bye.
Hello, I'm Keisha, and Kristy is a beloved BFF. I first met Kristy in the halls of Medical Center North at Vanderbilt. I think I must have been going there for research meetings, and I saw this really happy, cheerful woman literally bouncing down the halls who had the absolute best hair. And so we would talk to each other in the halls when we'd pass each other. And then one day we actually decided, hey, we need to have lunch, and we actually did. And that became the beginning of a treasured friendship she invited me to book club at St. John. I remember that. And they were reading The Shack. And then the next Sunday, they said, oh, we're starting a Bible study. You should come. So even before I had really even been to a church service with the Sinkfields, I showed up for their Bible study. And again, that was another blessing. So my favorite thing about Kristy is she's just so down to earth. And given the fact that she is just such a brilliant and dynamic woman who's beautiful inside and out, just the fact that she operates through humility and she uses her superpowers for good, I just is really priceless. And so I really appreciate that about Kristy. My favorite times with Kristy have really been just simple, just when we get together, often it's just pure fellowship. You can just be transparent, you can be real, you don't have to put on airs, and you can speak from the heart. And Kristy is one of my spiritual sisters as well as a mentor. But just, being able to come to someone in true friendship is an absolute gift, and I don't take it for granted. So Kristy, love you and happy birthday.
Kristy, 60 looks phenomenal on you. You're beautiful, you're graceful, you're elegant, you're stylish, and you're fun, and I just love you to death. Not only do I look forward to celebrating your birthday when you get back home, but I also look forward to celebrating so many more birthdays with you, sister. I love you. Mwah! Happy birthday.
Kristy Sinkfield, woman of God, my friend, my buddy, I want to say happy, blessed, joyful birthday to you. And I pray that you experience many, many more birthdays. And just like the Word of God says, and we agree with the Word of God and declare over your life that you live long and you live strong, healthy mind, healthy body, and no weapon formed against you and your family will prosper.
Kristy, I just want to say that it has been a joy over the past years just to be a friend of yours. You bring joy to my life, and I'm so thankful that God brought us together. And I just wish for you inner peace, joy, and laughter for the rest of your days. And more importantly, I want to say happy birthday, and I love you.
Hey, sis, Kristy, this is 60, right? So I don't even know how great this is going to be for you. But I do know that I want for you to enjoy it, to embrace it, and I pray that it will be everything that you want for it to be. I am wishing you all the best. I am wishing you all my love from myself and from the kids. Happy 60th birthday. We love you so much, and we just want you to have a blast.
Happy birthday, and I declare the blessings of the Lord rest upon your life, and that God got many, many great and empowering things for you to do in the earth and in the body of Christ. Love you so much. Happy birthday. God bless you and Anthony. It's going to be even a greater ride than what you've experienced so far. Love you so much. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Kristy Sinkfield, I wish you the happiest of birthdays. You know, I'm not as funny as my wife. She's funnier. But you have a wonderful birthday to this day.
Kristy, I would like to say to you, happy birthday. 60 years. Now, I was 12 years old when you were born. Yes, I'm 72, so I have a few years on you. But I can truly say that this birthday that you're having is very special, and it's special to me. I feel like it's a present to me to be able to talk to you today and wish you the most happy,
happy birthday ever. That I love you, I appreciate you, and yes, you are the most spiritual, wonderful teacher that I have ever known. Thank you for answering God's call. Thank you for continuing to be my special niece who calls on me whenever. Whatever I can do, I will do it. So thank you, happy birthday, and God bless.
So 60 years ago today is a special day because it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I'm going to say it first too, and I'm going to end with saying happy birthday. I just thought backwards and thought about all the years that we were friends, and then those years that we kind of didn't keep in contact and didn't see each other. And then your life came full circle and you came back, and I'm just so grateful. I think it was a God thing that you and Anthony were sent at Payne Chapel, and I think I'm blessed better and the church is blessed better because you're here. I don't know, I was thinking about all the things that we've done in our lives and how much fun we had and some tears here and there, but ultimately it was, you've been one of my best friends. And I hope you know that anything that you ever need, you can always call me. I hope that you have a great day, continue to live your best life, and I think we both make 60 look pretty great, don't you? Happy birthday, Kristy. Love you.
When I looked at Kristy was actually the first person I ever loved. She was the very first person I loved. And she had the best smile in the world. And we would just look at each other and she was smiling and I was smiling. I didn't know what else to do. What is a mother? I had no idea. My wish for you, Kristy, is that you just continue to be Kristy. There is none like you. You are my first love, and you are my forever love, and just keep on being Kristy. There is none greater. Happy birthday, my love.
Happy birthday. I love you. Roses are red, vice blue. Happy birthday. I love you. Thanks for being my big sister.
Happy birthday, Kristy. You are an amazing friend. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. You are vibrant and smart and real, and everyone should have the good fortune to have a friend like you. You make 60 look pretty amazing. Happy birthday. Here's to many, many, many more, and I hope all your birthday wishes come true. Mwah.
Kristy, I wish the best for you. You have been a blessing to so many people, and we enjoy being a blessing to you too. So enjoy 60. You're now in that age group that I'm in, so we'll be talking about that. But have a wonderful time on your birthday and many, many blessings to follow. Love you, girl.
Hey, Kristy, happy birthday. I wish you all the happiness for this year, the rest of this year, and for years to come. And I hope you make it to the 75 years that I have and have a happy relationship with my son and your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. Thank you, God, again for you, and may you be blessed the rest of your life.
Kristy, you're 60 years old, and the wish that I have for you is to be like your grandmother or great-grandmother. But it's just, to live a long, beautiful life and to have all the treasures that God has for you. So, Kristy, happy birthday and have many, many, many more. See you later.
Hi, Kristy. This is Aunt Loretta, and I just want to thank you for being such a blessing in my life. And when I grow up, I want to be just like you. Happy birthday and many more.
Kristy Sinkfield, I wish you nothing but the best on your birthday. I cannot believe that you're turning 60. Absolutely not. God has definitely shined on you. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. I am so happy for you, and I just can't wait to hear all the new and exciting things and all the places you're going to be traveling, and just being relaxed and carefree. I'm wishing you nothing but the best. Happy birthday, and many more to come.
Hello there, friend. Happy birthday. I am so thankful, blessed, grateful, you name it, lucky to call you my friend and to have you in my life. I'm so glad our paths crossed working for Bill Stead. Gave us a lot of things to talk about, especially our similar levels of feistiness, but you are just amazing, and I aspire every day to be more like you, and I'm so excited for our little girl to meet you and for you to be Gigi for her, and just have a wonderful birthday and all the blessings, love, and everything that you desire. I hope it's yours for your birthday, and I hope that family of yours is spoiling you. Love you so much. You're amazing. Happy birthday.
Kristy, I love you. Heather and I love you. We think the world of you. We appreciate that you show us a great example of what it means to be in this life and ministry, to be a spouse, to be a teammate. I look up to you like a big sister, seriously, and I really appreciate you, all of your motherly advice, and when you correct me when I'm wrong, but also when you give me room to just be me. I really appreciate it. Love you. Happy birthday.
Kristy, I pray God's richest blessings upon you for this 60th birthday and beyond. Your wisdom, your knowledge, your love, your care and affection inspire us greatly. And I pray that God replenish that to you multiple fold, and that these are the best days of your life to come. God bless you, God keep you, God smile upon you is my prayer to you. I love you.
Happy birthday, Kristy, sister friend. I'm thinking of you today and hoping that this is the happiest birthday ever and the best year of your life. We are driving to Virginia today to be with Megan and her family for Christmas. And I just wanted you to know that I'm carrying you in my heart and remembering so many good times with you and missing you. I'm remembering a lot of laughter and a lot of foolishness and prayers and tears and storytelling and just eager to see you. So let's do that in this next year. Hope that this is a wonderful, wonderful day, Kristy, and wishing you the best ever year. And we'll talk soon. Take good care. Love you a lot. Bye-bye.
Hello, Kristy, and happy birthday to you. It's wonderful to be born in the month of December, the day after Christmas. So I hope you have a wonderful birthday and keep smiling that Kristy Sinkfield smile. Love you, Aunt Ruby.
Well, Ollie, you know, I changed your name a few years ago from Ollie to Mother Hill. So Mother Hill, let me tell you, continue your journey. Continue to be blessed and continue to enjoy life and do what God has for you planned. This is a milestone in your life, and I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Enjoy the day after Christmas because it's your day. Have a remaining sweet life. And that comes straight from Uncle Sam.
Kristy, I've seen you come a long way in the 32, 33 years that I've known you. Still just wishing you the best on this 60th birthday and saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kristy.
From us.
So happy birthday, Kristy. I wish you a wonderful birthday filled with peace, happiness, blessings, and love. And I hope that your next 60 years is better than your last. I love you. Happy birthday.
Oh, I wish that the best is yet to come. I wish that the next 60 years of her life are even more amazing than the first 60 have been. And I hope that her next 60 are full of all the things, all the desires of her heart. I hope that she has peace. I hope that she has love, joy surrounding her. And that whatever it is that she wants to do next, I hope that God grants that for her. And I hope that she just enjoys it. I wish that her birthday is full of all the things that make her happy. And I know that her being surrounded by family is one of those things, but I pray that this celebration warms her heart and that she feels the love that we have for her and that she fully embraces how fearless and how bold and beautiful she is at 60.
Gigi plays outside with me. How are you, Gigi? How are you, Papa? You like this. Happy birthday, Gigi. Happy birthday, Gigi. Gigi, I hope you have a great birthday.
She has a lot of that peace. She's pretty centered. She's pretty grounded, and I learn a lot from her about peace. But I want her to see what everybody else sees when she sees her. I want her to see all of the richness and joy and beauty and accomplishment that everybody else sees, and I want her to be satisfied and glad with what God is doing. And then in addition to being satisfied and glad, I want her to have whatever experiences she wants to have. She wants to travel, I want her to travel. She wants to start new things, I want her to start them. And she wants to close out old things, I want her to close them out. I don't want her to stress about anything in this coming phase. And I want it to be as amazing as the previous phases have been. I want this phase to be the best phase yet for you, Mom, and I believe that it will. Happy birthday. I love you so much. We love you so much. You are just the best person in our worlds. And I can't wait to see what God is going to do in the decades ahead.
Kristy, you are a phenomenally special woman. I tell you every time I see you, hello there, beautiful. Hi, beautiful, because everything about you is beautiful. You're a beautiful physical woman. You're a beautiful spiritual woman. You're a beautiful person. And I have been blessed and enhanced to have you in my life. I am praising God regularly that you are my wife. I'm wishing you a very, very happy 60th birthday. My 30 plus years with you have been the best of my life, and I pray that God blesses you greatly with 60 more. You know I love you dearly, and happy birthday.
I hope that my mom can keep going, just keep finding the good in everything in life, and stay as positive as she can. I hope that she achieves all that she wishes in life too. She always has these she has these like ideas of things that she may want to do or these dreams, and she'll have all of these aspirations, either when it comes to helping people or doing anything in a social aspect or doing something personally, where she will do something for herself that will impact everybody around her. And I hope that she finds something that she can, that she keeps finding things rather, that she can keep putting all of her effort into, and that she can keep working towards, and things that she loves to do. I want her to keep finding things that she really enjoys doing, and I want her to keep doing it. I want her to live the life that she wants us to live. And she may be doing it, and sometimes I don't know. And I want to know that she's happy. I want to know that that the good that she's putting out in the world is the same good that she's receiving from it. Mom, you, as I've said before, you've been a great inspiration to me and to everybody around you. And I know that nobody has to say it, because we all know you are an amazing person, and we are constantly blessed to be around you. And thanks for everything that you've been doing. And happy birthday. Happy 60th. Good Lord. Stop. Time keeps going. Stop. Happy 60th birthday.
Hey, Kristy, this is Layla Hathaway, and I'm wishing you a very happy 60th birthday. That's a milestone. You grown now. This comes from your child, and she got this cameo just for you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Miss Kristy. Happy birthday to you. Happy holidays.